Hello, hello, diary listeners. Welcome back. This is To Be Essential, part two of our time with Nathan Rearden. This is a very cool episode, and I'm very fortunate that I got to know Nathan this way, so I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Apprenticeship Diaries, where raw meets refined.
Let's be real, we're still working on refining.
What it took, what it takes, and the stories that are made.
Join us as we learn from professionals about how their stories began.
And I understand that that's what she heard when I challenged her, but what I was trying to challenge was the fact that this was being acutely mismanaged and that she was in a position that at any point she did not have to be in, and that she was choosing to stay in that position. Now, granted, there's a lot of things that you have to be willing to let go, but as somebody who's looked at my life and who has walked away from everything I have built my life to be in a second, I know very, very much so that it's within me to make the changes in my life. And I do not have to stay in that discomfort. I do not have to. And that I owe it to myself to not do that. And that's really what I aim to do for a lot of people, is just being like, listen, dude, you can shift this whole perspective. You can shift everything about it. It does not have to be the way it is. I'm not going to cake feed you. I'm going to show you a reality. If you really want it, you'll accept it. If you don't, you're going to think I'm an asshole, and that's fine.
So, the only reason I managed to stay,
Huh.
me and one of those nurses, we talked about it, and the only reason we made it through was these people needed they couldn't have family with them. They needed somebody with them, and if it wasn't going to be me, who was it?
I'm very grateful for that, because that was the thing that made me, I can't even explain the rage. And I am so, so, so grateful that, because I'd be in prison. I can tell you right now, I'd be in fucking prison if my family was in a place like that and I couldn't see them. I would be in jail right now, because the fuck, if you're going to keep me from my family, there is no goddamn way you're going to keep me from them. That is the worst thing that you can do to a person dying ever, ever, is keep them from their family. I don't care. I don't care. If it's going to happen, it does not happen alone. But I am so grateful for you.
The factor that in my mind was one patient that really got to me. She reminded me that passed away when I got out of the military, and she knew me by name because I was checking on her. So me and one of the day shift nurses, she kept asking if we were coming back and everything, and we are like, yeah, we'll be back. Every time we came back in, we'd check on her, and then day off, I come in and she passes away.
Hmm.
There when she passed away, my supervisor was in there with her, and that's where it hit. I'm like, somebody needs to be here. So I forced myself to stick through. It takes a toll on your mental health, but you got a patient in the room too. The patient in the room is going through, they can't have their phone if they're with it, but when they start suffering from a delirium, which is a
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people don't realize it's a thing. When you're stuck in the room, you start going crazy, you'll start swinging. When you start going through that and taking your mask, breathe, you still need somebody in there with you to spend time with you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm so thankful that they had you. If nothing else, that is such a wonderful thing to be for another human being. But I definitely, and this is where I just, people didn't receive me so much because I'm very opinionated about how things should go. And I, like I said, I'd be in prison if that happened to one of my family, because I would fight to be with them so much that I would probably be locked in jail right now, because you're not going to keep me from them. Like I will be there. And if you want to cart me off after they die, that's fine, but I'm not going
Uh,
to do that.
we did end up doing it where if you sign, you can go in there with them, but as soon as you leave, you have to go home and quarantine.
Yeah, I mean, that would have
We
been
started doing
something I did.
that.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad because, dude, you know, but I'm glad you were there. And there is, to elaborate on the delirium, there is DMT that is released from your mind when you are dying and you're transitioning. Like your body is flooded with a psychedelic property, so that's part of it too, is to kind of ease the transition of leaving your body. And at least that's what I've heard from accounts of people who have had near-death experiences or been dead and come back. So it's incredible. But you know, COVID was it kind of it's fucked up to say. It's kind of like every time I've been slapped for taking a psychedelic, honestly. They're lessons in control. And COVID for me was that.
Well,
Uh,
been hit by a patient was in the COVID unit.
oh no.
Well, I said, understandable.
What? What
I
was that
said
again?
it's all understandable.
Yeah. I mean,
Hold
but
no grudges against those. That's when I'm out on the regular floor and somebody tries to hit me. We got a problem.
oh yeah, you're gonna defend yourself.
Oh no, I get sent to the psych unit all the time, and I play so much. I have to sit with patients up there.
Um, have you listened to my podcast that I did on the psych ward?
I missed that one.
Episode 36 was when COVID hit for me, and it's called Lines Drawn. And I actually just referred it to somebody today, because same as you, we've met online. He actually learned how to, at least a little, um, tattoo in prison because he's been in prison and he's getting out and he really wants to pursue tattooing now. It is one focus, and he's approaching it all in a good way. Very talented, um, and we've been talking a lot, like you and me, like checking in with each other, like just trying to touch base. But it's gotten spiritual, as it does when you're willing to put your shit aside and really meet people and listen and connect, which is the thing that I love about art itself, is that it's such an amazing opening tool and communication tool. But I recommended that he listen to it because um, I have experience from the inside, from the patient view, a psych ward, an emergency psych ward.
Yeah, I've been up there patient view, but as a keep the patient from going crazy view, and I'm like, huh, those
you,
those chairs are heavy.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I mean, you might enjoy, I don't know. It would be another perspective to hear what my view was from the patient
I'll,
view.
I'll have to listen to that, but I just laughed at my experience up there
Oh, you can experience a lot of things. I met, that was what I called in the episode, the island of misfit toys.
because it was a safety sitter for a guy who thought he was either a prophet of God, Clark Kent. So he rotated from being a prophet to Superman, and his trash bag was his pet dog. A girl
Uh-huh.
would walk by, he was dropping his pants,
Hmm.
and I was like, man, into psychosis, he'll calm down. He goes, I'm gonna fly through the window. I go, it's kryptonite, and all he lost his shit. I'm like, that didn't work. And then I looked outside, and just imagine Mike Myers me. I look out the hallway, and there's the dude who's got he looks like Hag. He's got the Mike Myers stance, just standing there staring at the room. I mean, I'm like, that's creepy as hell. Every time I look out of the room, he's in a different position, still staring at the room. I mean, I'm getting closer. I'm like, I'm just watching this guy. I'm like, now I gotta watch my back too. And then I look out at last time, nurses. Look out, he's 3 feet from the door. I'm like, oh fuck no, I'm gonna get held down. This guy's gonna say I got a pretty mouth. This dude is bigger than me. I'm right at 6 foot. I'm not used to having to look up. I'm like, yep, I gotta look up at this guy. I'm like, I'm not going out this way. Oh, I looked at the nurse that morning when I got relieved. I go, what's this problem? She goes, oh, just general psychosis. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
where were you guys at? We were in yeah, you were locked up in your little cubby. Thanks. I'm like, I'm never coming back up here again.
Well, I can say from my perspective, um, you
I've been times.
well, it's different because
I can
you're
only imagine what it's like as the patient, though.
you're one of the nuts in the bag of nuts, like they don't see you the same way. You're not the enemy. You're an equal wounded bird in a cage. So they don't take it out on you.
Shit, where were you at? I mean, I go in this one. I'm like, everybody's like, I'm gonna die. I mean, I
we
had a patient who got sent upstairs, and he's like, dude, are you coming with me? I go, I sorry. They say you don't need to sit here. He goes, why am I going up there? I go, no idea. They were out of rooms. He goes, fuck. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I would have gone if I could. No, I wouldn't.
Well, I could equally say the same to you. If you listen to it, you'll hear that I had some great people when I was there. I had some people that were like, like you said, your empathy for people kind of gets turned off because it has to, because you have to just do your job because it's so overwhelming and it's so taxing and you're seeing so much of human tragedy that, like, in order to protect yourself, you just can't get too close. And I saw that in some people too. And they saw me. It's just that we weren't friends, and and they knew I was not going to be friends with them, but I didn't mind them. I didn't think they were bad. I only had two people in there that really I loathed with every being of my soul. But the rest were fine. Um, and it might give you a perspective about, I don't know, just about me, and just from what it's like to experience that from, a non-medical perspective. Maybe bring a little bit of the empathy back that you had to turn off. I know you have it, but when you're in moments like that, you just have to self-preserve, and I get it. I get having to, like, turn that shit off just so you can do your job.
It makes you a weird individual outside of the job too.
It makes for a what?
Makes you a very awkward individual in the job too.
Well, I would imagine, dude. But that's
All
why
that
art's
after you
so
did two
great.
deployments and everything, you're like, I don't know how to talk to people.
That's fine. You have art. You can talk to them a different way. And you might find that the artistic community, I actually, like I said before we started recording, the time that we met, this time a year ago today, I was hanging out with my friend Rebecca and her daughter Nye, and Nye is extremely artistic. And we met yesterday, and she showed me some video editing that she had done. And her mom was like, she was kind of borderline embarrassed. She was like, don't just show this to anybody, Nye. Like, they're gonna think I'm such a bad mother. They're gonna take you away from me. And it was really cute, but it was very good. It was very artful, but it was hard to watch in a, like, I don't think anybody but somebody who is an artist and can go down the rabbit hole of fucking twisted crazy could watch that and sit still in that space and experience it. But it was very true to her, and I was like, this is very good, Nye. Like, this is really good. It's amazing. It's fucked up, but it's amazing. Like, it's really good. And I also know that in order for you to create something like this, you're using a different part of your brain that is calming, that is still, that is focused, that has a much different energy than what the viewer experiences, which makes me happy. I would never remove you from your mother. based on this. I think this is incredible that you have this outlet that you're using to express yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Uh, Kid growing up, I had a darker sense of art, and I was all obsessed with war. I see where my nephew, but I would draw different characters, and then I had one person saying, she looks at me and goes, can't you draw a rose or something? Why do you have to do so negative? I'm like, oh. After that, I started doing floral, and then I got really good at floral. I got into my oil painting class just because of floral art, which
Well,
is that's the only art class I've ever taken was oil painting.
oh wow. Well, I will say this. You're very good at art, and I think that
Oh, don't be afraid. I've done it before. It's fine.
oh no no no. What I
Huh.
was gonna say is that I'm really happy that you have the view that you have, and it's very necessary. And um, I think once you are in alignment with being able to do this as a profession, it's really going to bring out some really, really awesome things because uh that was a whole lot of her and not a lot of you. That was what she wanted to see because what you did made her feel uncomfortable. And that's the purpose of art. It's not supposed to always make you feel light and happy, okay? It's not, that doesn't signify good art. It's supposed to be confronting.
Which I get
Sometimes.
that. Like some of my stuff now, people look at me like, the fuck is that? I go, I don't know. That's the best thing about it. I don't know what it is.
Yep. Well, and I think that that's great. And I think that New School offers a lot of ways to express those things that are, because, for example, it kind New School to me, if we were to put it in podcast form, is like comedy true crime. Like you explore these heady topics with cartoon characters and do these dramas that are, if you were to see them in any other light, they'd be really fucked up. But because you've put, these fuzzy characters to them or these quirky, big eyes or whatever, it's easier to digest.
Like my favorite characters to just experiment with right now are just in general the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Everybody knows them, so I'm like, do something that people will like and see what design I can do. Like around here, like a traditional artist, he looked at me and said, those are actually really good. I'm like, thank you. Because I did custom Pokemon plushies. I made them stuffed animals out of the design with stitch
Oh,
work through them. And you remember the Tim Burton movie Coraline?
yeah.
They have Coraline button eyes.
That's awesome. I love that.
So those are
Well,
going to be the stickers I sell at the event. Are
that's awesome. I mean, you could probably do even parodies with because Neil Gaiman is another attachment to Coraline. You could do a whole
I
Sandman
didn't
like,
realize he was.
yeah, he wrote Coraline.
Oh,
Yeah. Tim Burton produced the
see, I
movie,
knew the
but
Tim Burton with it.
yeah. So you
I
could
still,
go,
yeah, I still preferred Guyman with Stardust.
yeah, yep, yep. Oh, Stardust is great.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
completely different book.
Yep. Oh, he's got so many. He
I'm
he has to
mad.
be one of my favorite writers of all time. I
Yeah.
really enjoy him a lot. Because he like for me, he's romantic and eloquent and uh it is like experiencing a dream constantly when you're reading his books, and it's still really dark and confronting but so good.
Have you read Dean Koontz?
No, and I've heard good things though.
There's a don't Thomas, even though I've heard it's good. Look up his Frankenstein novels.
Oh, okay, I will.
Yeah, he's got a unique take on Frankenstein, where the monster actually with Buddhist monks and learned philosophy.
Oh, I love that.
So
I
it's a
love that.
unique, and it all takes place in New Orleans too.
It feels a lot like my own story.
He got his soul with lightning, so he's like, yeah, I'm not dead.
Yeah,
It's a
no.
unique take with it.
Oh, I
There's
love
five.
it.
He's got 5 books in that series, and I'm in that one.
I'll have to check that out. Thank you for that. And hopefully the listeners will follow suit too. There's so much
But
that this can produce, man, like of awesomeness. You have no
now
idea
you
how many depressions you might be pulling people out of right now.
now you mentioned questions why I wanted to get into tattooing.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for pulling me back.
The biggest reason I wanted to get into it is I've seen so much loss. I've seen people come in pain and try to hide scars, and I want to do something that can give back. I wanted to do something,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I feel like that's the best way to do it. And in the shop, I've seen so many people come in with the scars from where they were ashamed from where they tried to end their life before to get up.
Yeah. Well, that could be your way of taking what that woman who wanted you to draw flowers and taking your willingness to look at things that are very hard to look at and making something beautiful out of them. And that's really cool that you're comfortable in that space and you've explored enough tragedy to really be good in that space and bring somebody some light. So that's really cool. I like that.
Like I said, that's the biggest reason why I get into it is I want to do something that could help people or something to just create something. I want to out there.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, that's why COVID was hard for me because I was deemed inessential. And that's
Yeah,
why
my
I
friends got
got,
shut down from it.
yeah, that's why I got very angry because I am the most essential in those times. And nobody ever came to my shop or to my seat looking for safety. They were looking to be healed.
I was so essential. I got paid a minimum wage to work in the unit. Everybody was dying.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Well, the nurses got a 10,000 bonus, a pay raise, and everything else. They're like, "Oh, you're going in there and doing all the same stuff, but you're getting 12.50 an hour."
That's messed up, man.
Really? Like, yeah, we'll give you a 3%. I get a dime. Thanks.
Right. You gonna tip me something, bitches?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, if you work extra day a week, we'll give you an extra $5 an hour. I'm like, you're giving them $100 an hour and a $10,000 bonus.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
yeah. Like I said, COVID put me in a hole.
No, it would. And I honestly, um, well, and I know that tattooing is going to be magical for you.
I can
Um,
only hope. Like my friend Cody he doesn't see me have an issue pulling people in and actually making a living once I get started.
well, not only that, dude, but I just see you blossoming at Comic-Con. Honestly, like I think that that's going to be an amazing space for you. What now that you're starting to really dip into your art, you're gonna feel all of the different avenues that you can go with it. And I hope you just dive into all of them. I know tattoo's a focus, but being a partner in a tattoo studio, if that's the path that you guys end up going down, I mean, you might choose a whole different station in that space that is really magical where you're still doing your art. It might not actually be tattooing. For me, it's become talking a lot more than tattooing. So
There's one whole other goal to this convention too.
yeah.
Yeah, you meet a bunch of cosplayers, and there's two big groups. You have the 501st Legion
Uh-huh.
of Storms, and then you have Mandalorian Mercenaries. They do a lot of charity. They're throughout all the states. They go to all these conventions for it. Well, Disney likes to hire people in there as scouts.
Uh-huh.
And if they go through and they'll scout Star Wars art and everything, they find something they think's good enough, you can get a Disney license to do Star Wars.
Wow. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I
if you
heard.
get that, there's a certain convention that you can only get into as if you have that license.
Mm-hmm. A friend of mine, Josh Heckert, has one. Yep.
I'm shooting for it, so I'm going to be a lot of the art I'm going to make for flashes to sell there for prints
Mm-hmm.
are going to be Star Wars related.
You should look at Josh and connect with him. He might be once you start getting up and going a good connection because he does have that license. He already is doing that. He does phenomenal. His is traditional. Traditional meets pop culture and Star Wars, and it's
That's one of
fantastic.
the artists who's supposed to go with me, that's his style too.
Oh, right on. You might already know Josh, because if they're already doing in similar veins, you might already know him.
It's
Um,
my goal because you can get a license for art and a license for tattoo through Disney for that.
yep. Oh, yeah, and that's the thing is that then you can start, making t-shirts, making spin-offs of all kind. Like you
And you
can,
can advertise that you're a
yep,
shop with an exclusive.
yep. Well, and also so many people find such peace in that book. I mean, there's actually, I mean, I feel like it's a very spiritual alternative to religion, Star Wars. I mean, if I'm not being too nerdy, I think it is.
I grew up with it, but and it's why I pick on Harry Potter is a knockoff of Star Wars
Yeah.
in a way.
Well, a lot of the it's a classic story. You have a coming of age, person who needs to seek out a mentor, who has to go through trials. It's the classic hero. If you've ever read uh Joseph Campbell, he wrote the book A Hero with a Thousand Faces. And what he was talking about is the psychology of a personal hero journey that we each go through in order to manifest who we are and what our purpose is in this world. And it's a deep rooted psychological analysis of story and pretty much the classic tragedy where you have your hero, you have their trials, and inevitably they will die, but they will shine some purpose into the world that was very necessary, and they go through these stages. That is a hero's journey, and it is. But that's the whole. I mean, that's the Christ story too. Of
Unlike George Martin, where he makes a character you like him and he kills him for no reason. Something
well,
you're like, really, dude?
yeah, I'm finding peace with him. I liked that aspect of his book because it was the same thing that I said to my friend Nicole, which I was like, you know, you do realize what you got into, right? Like that's what people say. They were like, everybody dies. And I was like, you do know everybody's gonna die, right? Like,
Yeah.
like you do know that everyone that you love and care about is gonna die. I think that this is a really nice way to
Well,
confront that fact.
he does a different way to think of it. He does it because he writes the characters as people that piss him off and then he kills them off.
Yeah, he seems
That's
like a
how
very
he said that in an interview. It's like he someone on a football team because his team lost a game. So he wrote him wearing that colored armor getting killed by a giant.
he seems like that type of guy. I'm trying to make peace with him as a person because he kind of pisses me off. Um,
Well, my
I'm
favorite
mad that I read all those books and now he's not going to finish it, but I don't think he can anymore. I don't think he has the perspective to be able to anymore.
no, because I read the books and then off with Jon Snow getting stabbed and you're like, really? I'm not
Well,
watching the show. Fuck this.
yeah, that's the thing is that like I
The show ruined the development of my favorite character who had his own route
yeah. Well, and there's all these other, other characters.
that weren't even in the show.
No, and plot lines that were left
Like
undone.
they never introduced, which I think would have creeped a lot of people out.
Introduced which character?
The
I
Gray
missed it.
Lady.
Yes, I know.
That
I
would have
know.
creeped so many people out, and I'm like, that would have been worth it.
It would have been
If
worth
you
it.
thought the Red Wedding was rough, see the Gray Lady.
They did make the Red Wedding, I was surprised, rougher on the series than they did in the books because they brutally showed the execution of a pregnant woman, which didn't happen in the books. But serve the purpose for the plot twist that they were offering, I suppose, because I think most people their criticism of the series was that it was just ended so quickly, and you can tell that it was ended quickly. But I look at it that to offer this perspective, this is the one piece that I have about George R. R. Martin. I'm really mad at him for introducing me to such great plots and such great characters that I was very attached to, and that I read all those thousands of pages to get to.
Just to have nothing happen afterwards.
Right. But here's my piece. Maybe it will happen for you too. So I listened to a Joe Rogan interview of Chuck Palahniuk, the guy who wrote Choke and Fight Club and uh, that those books. And I didn't know this, but he actually had a financial investor who embezzled a shit ton of his money and pretty much leveled him financially until he was able to challenge it. And he caught the guy, but that doesn't mean you get your money back right away. It means you have to fight in court to get your money back. And so Joe was interviewing him about that, and Joe was like, dude, aren't you just mad? Like, aren't you like really mad about that? And Chuck was very chill. He was like, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm mad that, somebody did that to me, but I'm gonna win this case. I mean, it's a very cut, shortcut case. He's like, but I'm not as mad as you would think, just simply because when you're really wealthy and you're really successful, there's nothing to write about. And he's like, I stopped writing. But the second I needed to write again to make my life happen, I started writing. And he's like, I'm really happy I'm writing again. It offered me a heat that I hadn't felt in a really long time. And I'm grateful for that. And it was a really neat thing to hear from someone like that. And I think that's honestly, I think that's what happened with George R. Martin, is that when you've experienced that fame and your connection to people have changed, I don't think that he could really commit to the same viewpoint that he had when he was writing the books to begin with. It's already here, my next book. Okay, listeners, I've got something to share with you that I'm already in love with. I don't know about you, but I'm a total book nerd. I have so many books. A lot I haven't read, I admit. There's just something about having bookshelves full of possibilities that calms my soul. So when I attended the Pagoda City Tattoo Fest this past August for the first time, I was delighted to run into my friend Ina Vigilato. We've actually had her on our show, so go check that out. Straight away, it was like God used Ina to guide me over to Black Dagger Books. There I met Travis Lawrence and Josh Rowan, the creators of this enterprise, and got hooked as soon as I saw their product. It's these beautiful little books just full of art, amazing art from amazing tattoo artists. From here, I'm just going to read what their site says. Black Dagger Books is an ongoing collection of artists defining modern tattooing, published monthly, one artist per book, one book per month. A subscription is $25 a month. You get inside of these beautiful books, these custom stickers. Each one is filled with the most gorgeous artwork, and it always concentrates on these awesome tattoo artists. And I try to follow each one as soon as I open the book. I'm just like, oh my God. So it's really worth it. Do yourself a favor. Go over to blackdaggerbooks.com, or if you're on IG, Black Dagger Books, it's all one word, and check out their product. Like I said, the subscription is awesome, and I'm really happy. This quells everything about, the book nerd in you, the art collector. It also cures any guilt that you might have about having books just laying around, because this gives back to the artist community. It's a win-win. And just so everyone knows, I'm not being paid to shout these guys out. I just genuinely love their product. And also, I really love them. The creators, Travis and Josh, were amazing. They were so kind to me. They gave me so much of their time at the Tattoo Festival. So if you ever have the chance to meet them, talk to them. They're great guys. I just can't say enough things. So do yourselves a really big favor. Go check it out. Thanks so much, listeners. Let's get back to our podcast. So I'm willing to forgive him.
Yeah, that's kind of like Sam Smith, the singer.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went in depression, shot up with the songs because he didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you can't force that kind of energy through you. It's either there or it's not. When it's not, it's not. And that was the other thing that really pissed me off about COVID, because people were like, just dance, monkey, dance, just make art. And I was like, no, the fucking world is in panic mode right now, dude. I cannot I can't just be this like frilly thing for you right now. I'm not just a fucking artist. I am a person with a brain, with a family, with, a life, with feelings.
I got lucky through the pandemic. The worst part of it, with the shittiest gear possible, never got COVID. I was one of the few and one of the only that never got it.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I'm very happy for that.
I actually think it. I think it's due to blood typing, but they killed that study.
Mm-hmm. You might have a long lineage of people who are survivors of the Black Plague.
Well, I'm a rare blood type as it is, and that's why I was curious about the blood typing.
Yeah, you should. I would. It sucks that they don't do that study anymore, but you're
They
probably
canceled
right.
it a couple. They're like, yeah, certain blood types are susceptible to it, right? I'm like, really? Which ones? And they go, we don't know. We canceled. That's so useful now.
I know, right? Fuck, that would have been great. All
Good for getting heart disease, but are we immune to the plagues? What the fuck?
right.
Like less than 5% of the population in the world has my blood type. I'm like, really? Cool. Is it good for
Mm-hmm.
anything? No, it attacks people's body like it's a virus. I'm like, oh, that's great. I'm a universal receiver, right? I can take blood from anybody, so I'm a vampire. And my blood, because my blood will poison other people. I'm like, that's awesome, right? No, no, it sucks.
No, it sucks.
Because that means you go donate blood. You're like, oh, you're rare. Can we get more? Oh, I didn't want to come the first time.
Well, if you keep getting tattooed, they at least in Maryland, they won't take it from you.
No, they
If
they cut me off from giving plasma now.
Yeah.
See,
Yep.
yeah, but I'm a universal receiver, but when it comes to plasma, I'm a universal donor. Anybody could take my plasma.
Mm, very, very cool. I've never donated blood. I have never been since I started tattooing. I've never been outside of a year in getting tattooed. I've always been,
That's where I'm at now. I was
yeah,
doing plasma before COVID because extra money and it was a way to do it. And then I got a tattoo. They're like, you got to wait a year. I'm like, well, shit, I can't remember when I got.
right.
Like, I just got these in May. I'm like, well, fuck, I'm at least waiting until May. You had to finish them afterwards. I don't know. I got to wait 2 years to be safe. I'll get
They,
tattooed before then. I'm like, yeah.
they still with all of the I mean, I hate to be crude about it, but with all the woke rhetoric, do they still reject gay blood?
Nothing I know of.
Because that was something that I heard was a rejection of, especially with Blue Cross Blue Shield, or not Blue. What is it?
I've
The
seen so many very
Not Blue
flamboyant
Cross Blue
people go,
Shield,
I don't think they care.
with Red Cross, with the Red Cross. That's what I meant.
Me and
Uh,
the Red Cross don't see eye to eye to begin with.
well, that's what I've learned from the Red Cross is that they won't take gay blood, which I
Blood
was
is
like,
blood. There's no difference.
well, not in their estimation, which I was like, of all things to fight for, you'd fight for your ability to donate blood, I think. Like if you're gonna be like, wow, this is very bigoted and very, very awful to reject needed blood from people. But hey, it's not my fight. I just found that interesting.
Yeah, I'm the only member of my family with my blood type.
Wow, that's interesting, man.
That's what say it. AB positive is rare and the AB negative more rare,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it was unique that my mentor in the Navy was AB negative.
Wow. That's cool, man. Very, very cool. Well, we've been jamming for almost 2 hours. Is there anything that I feel like we explored a lot of it.
We went through a lot of random things.
Yeah, but I think it hit all the notes. I mean, I always give people questions to ponder. I think we're to the point where next steps would be involved, though you did talk about Comic-Con
Hmm.
and how you're doing that. Um, like I said, there has been, our connection's been a little off and on. So I'm gonna ask that you just send me as many shout outs as you can to the people, so that I can clearly list them under your episode and shout them out so that everybody can follow them and get credit for them. Because if I have you list them off here, we might miss half their name.
Which, to be fair, I haven't seen your picture move since like 10 minutes after we started.
I know I've been looking, my hair's probably completely dry now. My face is completely frozen. It's not a good look. Um, I know I've seen it. It's up there frozen. Which it is what it is. This is raw to refined. I don't fucking know, but I do know that there's areas. I lived in Kentucky for a year, and there's areas in Kentucky, man, where you're lucky to get anything. So I know.
Which is, hey, for my internet, that better be good.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a matter of money. I don't know. But Nathan, I really appreciate you, man, and I'm excited to see what's ahead for you. I really think that this is a dope podcast. I mean, I know a lot more about you now.
Ish.
I'm so
I've got nothing to hide about anything. If anybody ever asks about my experiences, I've got nothing to hide behind.
well, and I hope that more people will reach out to you because you've now experienced so many things and you've trudged so many different types of waters in your experience. I mean, you've been in the
33 year
Navy.
old. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm 33 years old and I feel like I'm 80.
Well, that's good. I mean, hopefully from here on out, you can you can be rewarded for all that you've invested and have an easier time and be kinder to your body, get more sleep, all of those things. I really hope for that for you.
Sleep is overrated. What's sleep? I work night shift. What's day?
Well, I do know that if there is a heart issue at all, that sleep is super important for heart conditions. Um, so
Killing sugary drinks, which I'm working on
well,
slowly.
you have a killer heart, my friend. I feel the passion from you, even though I know that you feel like you've had to temper yourself. I can't wait until you are unleashed and see you in your full rhythm because I know it's coming and it's going to be soon. But I'll spare you and Murphy back there and let you get back to your wonderful dog and day and
Yeah,
household.
he just wants to get all up in my face again. That's all it is.
Yeah, he's a baby.
An 80
um,
pound baby with no boundaries.
Yeah, well, we all were there one time in our lives. He'll learn. But that's the beauty
It'd,
of dogs, right?
it'd be amazing if he was more like the cat and just go sunbathe and come see me. He just wanted something.
I know, I know. Well, I saw this awesome video, and it was great. They said dogs are for people who want to be worshipped like gods. Cats are for people who are strong enough to have a being sit on their chest at 5 o'clock in the morning and ask for sacrifice.
Oh, she doesn't do that. Come in there and she'll be like, I'm in here. Use me as a pillow. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
She'll walk right over there, lay down next to my head so I can use her for a pillow.
And you're a person who handles both. So
Yep.
that's who you
I'm
are.
fucked up. That's what I am.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? I think that's a great way to wrap it.
I'm gonna say any advice I can give other people is probably from my favorite author that I got to meet, Jim Butcher. And that's your worst critic is yourself. If you
Yep.
keep pushing yourself forward and don't let those opinions get you down. If I'd listened to the first person who told me I sucked or I didn't have to, I wouldn't be getting anywhere.
It's very true. I love that advice. Thank you.
Like I keep down, but like I said, every roadblock, I'm like, yep, it's not a if I get become a tattoo artist, it's a when. Let this
Yep.
stop me.
Yep. No, absolutely. And as a tattoo artist, let me tell you, it doesn't stop there. Once you hit that goal, you'll hit another period where you have to reassess like this, and you're already so vetted in that kind of transition that I know that you'll hit it a lot more gracefully than I have.
And
Um,
if you get it, or if anybody gets a chance to go to a paradise retreat, I highly recommend it.
yes, it's happening next October, right?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about it since the app went down and they went.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's another note. Guy Atchison is definitely somebody to check out. Whether it's they now have redefined the app to be more of, I think, an interactive learning space rather than an online community. So it's
For the
definitely
online community, though,
yeah.
personally.
Oh, I'm sad because I think that that was a great
That's how I got to network with a lot of
yeah.
people originally. Now, Jason him at the convention, I can't get in touch with him now
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't have his Instagram or anything.
Yep. Well, I mean, like you said, if you, I would keep going because never is that event bad for me. It has never been bad. It has always been, there's always amazing people to meet there, the connections from that event. So, yes, definitely check out it. And I do believe from what I heard from Gabe, it is happening next October, the 20 in the 23.
Because I've got like 3 or 4 local artists here that after I'm like, yeah, we want to go now.
Hell yeah, dude. That way you can roll up with
That's
your own fucking crew.
I've got people that want to go after I went last year. They're like, he's not even a tattoo artist, and he want to go. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was excited. It was great.
Yep. And I can be awkward. I'd be like, hey,
That's
hi,
why
I don't know you.
Rico's your foil. Rico balanced for you.
I know, right?
As soon as I introduced, who are you? And he goes, yeah, what's up? I'm like, all right, cool.
Yep. Yeah, he's that's why I love him, man. Like he is my balance. He is so great for me. Um yeah. And he's the funny. He's the funny. I wish he could have been here with us, but he had to unfortunately work today. His family booked a normal family vacation in Conowingo to was it Conowingo? No, in shoot Pulaski, New York, Pulaski, to do salmon fishing. And Rico wasn't going to go this year anyway, but he thought it was going to be next weekend. So he had planned to come,
Ah,
but he's sorry he missed you. He says hi. And
well, I know he offered to go hunting if I ever make it.
yeah. Oh, dude, he's still down for that. Um,
And I know I still got to plan a tattoo at some point.
yeah, dude. Well, it's all going to happen. It's all going to happen.
A rib for you.
Yes.
I fell
Yes.
asleep on my other rib when it was done.
I think we're going to be able to do the same thing. Though I think that given what I know to be your work schedule, that's probably just a matter of sheer exhaustion than it is the
Well,
pain.
to be fair, a lot of the artists here were like, when do you get off? 7 in the morning. We'll set you up for 10 in the morning. I'm like, fuck you.
Ugh, great. Thank
So I
you.
gotta stay up for 3 hours. So when I go and they're like, "You ready?" I'm like, "Yep." And I'm at the table.
You're just like fucking pass out, man.
My entire back got tattooed face down on the table.
Wow. Well, good on you, man. You're a lot more covered than me, it sounds like.
My back, my chest, my legs. Well, I've got partial sleeves on my. I designed one. I haven't designed the other, and I have no idea what's going with the other one yet.
You're gonna go crazy once you're finally a tattoo artist and you don't have to worry about keeping the boundaries of your clothes anymore.
Oh shit, John Michael, the guy that referred me, he's got tattoos all the way down his arms, his hands, and his neck. He just
Yeah.
had a biomech on his neck.
Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying that like right now it's a wise move. I do recommend anybody that, is in a transitional period of their professions not go crazy with
Yeah.
tattoos until you're really, really secure. But I think it's wise to not do that until you're really at home with where you're going.
I've told every artist here when they've asked me what I'm getting on my arms to go, I'm a licensed artist.
Hmm.
They go, I've had so many, like, do you even have a tattoo? You don't have any idea.
Yeah, I got tired of hearing that. So I just went right for my neck and my chest. I was like, you know what? Fuck all y'all. I have more tattoos than all of you. You wouldn't know, but I'm
Not
tired of
gonna
being,
lie,
yeah.
my most tender one was probably
Oh, chest is sucks.
because the artist was like, you know what? I'm gonna go right through the nipple. I go, the fuck. I have a leather bound book in my hand. The fuck you are.
I did with Rico. I totally did.
Well, he only hurt for a minute. I'm like, we ain't doing it. We're going around the damn thing. Yeah.
You might,
But-
you might, you might do it later. You never know.
oh no, that was my most tender tattoo. Yes.
I don't know, man. We get weird. Like it's amazing.
I
But you
even got
might
the
be
back.
right.
I got the back of my knee done too.
I've done that
My
one too.
my
That's
chest was
interesting.
worse.
Yeah. Mine was like right near it's not the collarbone. It's the connection of your neck to your collarbone. That was the worst for
Yeah,
me.
I've got a dragon across my shoulder under the collarbone.
Nice. This is above the collarbone in that clavicle area. Like
Oh,
that sucks because I have a very prominent décolleté area, and my bones stick out, but it wasn't the bone itself, it was the ditch where that skin's real thin. Holy Jesus.
You're talking about
I
right in
put
the center?
No, it's to the side. The center, do I have a center? I think I do, but I don't, that one wasn't as bad. No, it's like it's hard to explain, but it's like right above your collarbone. And it's I believe any connected area for me is the worst. Like any foldy place for me has been the worst. Knee ditches, armpits, um,
No,
getting close to the armpits.
I'm not gonna get my armpit done. That's probably the only spot I had swollen up was the side of my arm.
I have mine. I have to get it finished, but it's you just do it in phases. You don't, you
Yeah,
know.
one of the artists around here did do a pit tattoo though. I wouldn't do it, but he did. He did Edward Scissor. Yeah, the guy has a hardened sleeve, and he had one little spot left going up into the armpit. So the artist was like, "You Edward Scissorhands' hands cutting a T-Rex into the bush of your arm."
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And he tattooed a T-Rex bush into the armpit.
That is a fun human right there.
So it goes out and covers up the bush. You got Edward Scissorhands' scissors right there.
Hilarious.
I'm like, that's a cool concept. I wouldn't come up with it, but I was like, I appreciate it.
I love clients that are down for that kind of journey. They're the best. They're so fucking fun. I'm not funny enough for them because I usually get the serious people, but I definitely enjoy being around people who just are that fun, man, that just don't take life that seriously. It's great.
I spend my days off with clients and the artists. Like if I see the client's uncomfortable, I'll start picking on the artist, and I'll be like, why did you put pink where that blue's at? And he's like, the fuck? And the client just starts laughing and go, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I'll
You
just
already
start
got
messing
the
with the
mentor
artist.
in you.
I'll sit there and go back and forth between the clients and the artists. Like I'm like, you do know he likes doing this badger, not a bear, right? He goes, huh? I'll wait until the artist gets a perfect line. Now I go, dude, that's crooked as fuck. He's like, the clients are sitting there like, yeah, this is cool.
That is awesome. Well, you're gonna be a fun mentor once you get to that place.
Apparently, I'm the only one that gets my friend Co sit there and stop and look at his tattoo and be like, fuck you, man. I'm like, yeah, I got you good without meaning to.
Ah, that's awesome.
Like the other day, I looked at him and go, serious question. I'm not joking. He goes, huh? Yeah, is that supposed to be a fucking sun? He goes, I like how you said you're serious this time. I go, no, seriously, it's a cloud. Wipe it off. He goes, is that a sun? I'm not joking this time. He goes, no, it's supposed to be round. No, the cloud. You continue with the line out. Why'd you round it off in a circle? And he's just like, you know what? Fuck you. And then I came in yesterday and he goes, and I did because he did that lion facing the cross. I go, is the lion supposed to have Down syndrome? Oh,
Oh
fuck you.
man. You're terrible. You're
So the
terrible.
clients like me because I had one client who's in there with their mom, and her mom just, I like the fact you're here. You're very, I'm like, see.
Yeah, well, I mean, it brings levity. Everybody takes things so seriously
I
that
described myself as the equal opportunity asshole. I'll pick on both sides.
I like it. I love that. I might even call I might even call that the episode name, at least one of them.
But I say I call myself an equal opportunity. I treat everybody the same way. If I'm picking on one person, you're not safe. I'm going to go at you too.
No, that's the way it should be, man. That's kind of my premise. That's my premise. I same.
Just
I
try
love
to.
it.
I just try to be more respectful about how I say it, so I don't offend.
I mean,
Like any word that can be construed as racist without intent, avoid. Which is hard because there's a lot of times I didn't realize things could come across that way.
well, people are trying to make more things racist right now. That
That's
that
why I
is
said
happening.
earlier that I go, if you see a, try to restructure the sentence in my head because I've
Look,
gotten in trouble so many meaning to because I didn't realize a word had changed.
it is not your job to tiptoe around somebody else's pain. Um,
In the
I'm
hospital,
sorry.
it is, or else HR gets involved and then you don't have a job no more.
Well, I mean that's a different context, but
The tattoo shop, I'm like, this
yep.
person's I try to take their trauma into account and try to avoid that. Like if I
Yeah,
know
no.
a history of rape, I'm not going to bring up anything that could even brush across that topic.
Oh yeah, you're considerate. That's all you have to be is considerate. Though I will say this, um, you can't tiptoe around on eggshells to do anything that's really worth anything in this world. You just can't. I don't recommend it, and I don't think it's something worth doing. Yes, does everybody deserve a safe space, especially if that's what they're seeking for sure? But that's equal. That's a 50-50 road. Everybody's got to be equal in that, and nobody gets the ability to say that you have to bow to their pain. Um,
Now, my goal is not necessarily to walk on eggshells, it's to try to be as comfortable as possible while I'm joking with them.
oh yeah. No, I hear you entirely. There's just certain battles you don't pick, and I get that. I don't try to look for battles either. I want to
If I
connect and I want
decide
to
to
have
pick the
fun.
battle, I'm going to go all out.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no, me too. I do that too.
Like if I go all out, it's bad.
Well, if you listen to my episode, you'll hear how intense it gets with me.
Yeah, if I you'll have another podcast of my experience in the psych unit
I would love that. I
because
want to
they're
meet. I
the
want to meet with
patient.
you many times. Perhaps we can do a podcast at Paradise next year.
If I know more about it in advance to get it off, because
Yeah,
I'll have to
yeah.
talk to these artists to see if we can up and possibly get a room that doesn't smell like mildew.
You will. You will.
That
Uh,
room last year smelled like mildew the entire time.
well, you won't like next year because
Is it the same place or different place?
it's the same. Oh, I think it's the same place, but they have different rooms. The room that I stayed in, everybody was corralling in our room. People that didn't stay there, that didn't own it, they would come to our room just because it was so dope. It was like a mini condo. So if you
Whereas
do roll up, yeah, with more people, you'll get higher accommodations.
I said it wasn't bad. It's just the hallway was so bad. Like they bleached it before, so it smelled like mildew the entire.
Mildew is not something to sit in. It's very bad for your health. So I understand not wanting to do that. But I also understand the constraints of hotels in that area. They were understaffed grossly because of COVID, and they
And this was right after
yeah.
the pandemic.
Yep, it was the first thing. It was the smallest. So I would estimate that next year is going to be a lot more epic, because it's gonna be able to be that way. And
But no, if you
go
more
ahead.
info about it, just shoot me a message and I can talk to the people around here to try to get more of us up there.
Hell yeah, I will. Absolutely.
That way I'm not the awkward guy walking around and be like, I remember you from maybe.
You weren't awkward. You were awesome. I just wish I could have given you more of my time and attention. I was being grabbed at
Oh,
every moment.
I got some art from you and that was worth it.
Yeah, I got art from you. I still have it. It's awesome. I can
If I'm
say I
correct,
knew
it
you
was like my
when.
Pennywise and
Yeah, yeah. I can say I knew him when.
when he was figuring out what the hell he
Dude, my one of my best friends has a painting that I if I could I'd burn it, but she will not let it go, and it's her prized possession, and I'm just gonna leave it alone, but it's awful.
you've
So
described that one before too.
oh my God, it's awful. But yeah, yeah,
Just like you said, one of your first tattoos was on your mom too.
no, it was no, my
Didn't you
mom's
say?
not
Yeah. Oh,
it was
yeah. You said one of your first tattoos was bad, and she's like, "Nah, it's."
that you're thinking of Laura Jade. That was a seminar that I sat in with her. That is her story. And yeah,
Mm.
her first tattoo on her mom is no longer alive anymore. It was very bad. And um, yeah, but we all have that. Fortunately for me in tattoo land, that hasn't been that much. But the way that you get through it is you just promise yourself that you always do your best. And I see that in you. You're always trying, and I love you for it. I think it's amazing, and I think you're going to bring about some incredible things in this world.
Now, because we are in that tattooing self on Facebook,
Hmm.
I've got nothing against self-taught artists. I almost went that route myself. I've taught so many things to myself, but because this is involving putting needle to skin, I do not like learning bad habits.
Yes, I agree.
That is the only reason I have not gone that route.
Well, I'm at a I will admit here, and this is good to go out as we're wrapping. Um, I'm very conflicted about that group and that page, and I've tried to address it a couple times. I know you've seen because I
I
don't
saw
like.
one of your posts where they picture out there without context, and I read your comment, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
he's starting to get the book.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't give him any more of my energy after that. Because for me, the grace that he didn't get his ass chewed out by anybody else there is enough. And I'm not going to waste my time on somebody who comes on there and just posts nonsense for no reason and then sits there and defends what, like, defends themselves. I'm like, no, I am not interested in your self-defense. This is not a place where you should be defensive.
You're
um
supposed to be able to grow. You have to be accepting of critique.
yeah, and I'm not trying to hurt you, I'm trying to help you, and if you can't see it that way, and adjust, then I'm not giving you anymore. So we'll see with him. We'll see what happens. But I said what I had to say, and we'll just see what happens with him. But I'm not going to approve of any more of his posts if he comes the same way again. I will just kick him out of the group.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
self-taught sketch artist myself. So like I said, I've got nothing against self-taught artists. It's just the tattooing me on the fence because bad habits are easy to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I know all pathogen, I know all about needles and everything, but I'm still like, I don't want to risk a bad habit.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
last thing I want to do is injure somebody unintentionally.
Yep. Well, I mean, look, I'll say this. I have nothing against um I have nothing against following a path that you know you need to follow. What I have something against is what you're suggesting, is that it's not just bad habits, but it is risking other people's lives
Yeah.
and shitting on the gift that you're being given, to really, really help somebody and really, really make a good mark on someone. You're squandering it, and it's karmic, man. You're really, 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 I mean, I mean it in not even just it's awful on a like scratcher level or anything or as a tattoo, but it's really bad for a soul. It's really bad for a human soul to do that, because the penance is going to be bad. It's going to be really, and it's like your sister, it's going to be a roadblock that you're not going to be able to get past really easily, and it breaks my heart because you're not gonna advance like you want to, and you're just wailing against yourself, and you don't even know how you're doing it, and it's sad, but I can't. That's why I didn't comment. I can't fix that. I can't fix that. That's something that I'm gonna leave to God and
Are
pray
you
for
still
him.
talking about him or was that targeting me? I'm just sitting here like, ooh,
No,
I'm like,
it's
when did I get
everyone.
targeted? I'm like, what happened?
No,
Oh shit.
no. I mean, you can take it as personally as you need to.
I was just sitting here listening. I'm like, okay, okay. And then you go like your sister's a roadblock you can't pass. Fuck.
Well, you said that. I didn't.
I know. I'm like, shots fired. Wow, okay.
No,
Good enough.
you're gonna do it, and you're gonna help her. I know. If you can't mentor under her, then she will probably come around to you when it's her time, and that will be a wonderful thing, I think. Don't you know?
Obviously, you've never met my
Nope, nope.
that's one of those let's see how that goes.
We can all pray. I say when you're in moments like that, like I'm talking about with this dude, when you can't control it, I think it's time to sit still and ask God for some assistance, or whatever higher power you can muster, to just pray for something to happen to bring them out of it, because I don't want people to stay in that state. It's awful.
Any self-taught artists around here that don't follow the proper safety things and people get infections.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they might be getting more than that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have to be your story. And you know what? Here's my piece with that. And this is also good to put out. You don't know what people deserve. So at the same time, whilst I believe that you are squandering a gift as a tattoo artist and you're invoking bad karma, The other thing of that is that I don't know what kind of tool you're being used as to bring about the karma of somebody else. Perhaps they have earned a shitty mark. Perhaps they have done such awful things in their life that what you have just done to them has marked them as they well deserve. And that is my piece. You know, that's the way I can let shit like that go and not make it my business, because it's not my business and it doesn't have to be my story. I have my story. I have my road. I have the things that I can do. I'm not about that. I'm going to coach people within what I know is right. And if they don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. And I got to let it go. That's it. The rest is up to a higher force than me. And I'm willing to humble myself enough to that to realize that that's not for me to do. It is what it is.
I never thought of the karma angle for it.
Yeah. Most people don't, because you're responsible and because you do care and you want, yeah, I mean, like you said, the reason why you got into tattooing is because you want to heal people. You want to bring them out of things that are dark and really give them, and you accept a very, very high station of responsibility. And so it
It's
wouldn't
a
ever
different
occur
way of
to you.
service.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
My family's got a long history of service.
Yep. Absolutely. So it's hard to think of it in that kind of way, but that's how I think about it, to have peace. Because I can't control what I can't control, like I just can't. So I'm not gonna kill myself and squander these gifts that I have to really do amazing things with people, wasting my time indulging delinquency and people who are just never gonna get it. I struggle with codependency, and that's something that I've learned, is that you don't waste your time, because it's a waste of your time and you're enabling them, and they're never going to learn until they hit a certain wall. So I'm just going to let them hit it. I'm going to let them hit it. I'm going to let everybody hit it. So, Nathan, I'll wrap with us. I have to pee. I'm going to be real.
Yep.
So you have a great day, my friend. And I will be getting in touch with you when this goes out live. Is there any closing remarks? I'm gonna let you wrap it.
All I can say is, as somebody that's still trying to get in, is just don't be afraid to go out to new things. If I never went to Paradise Resort, I probably wouldn't be as far as I am now trying to get in.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. And an added shout out to Paradise and Guy Atchison and all the beautiful people that make that available to the world. It's a gift, and I recommend everybody do that. Thank you, Nathan. You're wonderful.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day, man.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find the Apprenticeship Diaries on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our IG is the_apprenticeship_diary. If you would like to offer constructive criticism or an interview, drop us an email at theapprenticeshipdiaries@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from our listeners.